Right now, the biggest or constraint or issues that we are seeing as far as coming over here is the irregular migration that's occurring through the maritime environment, similar to what you were seeing in Miami, right? So they're choosing to come from the Dominican Republic or Haiti or and traversing in unseaworthy vessels, which is quite dangerous, specifically because they're going across the open seas, right? So they typically either land on Mona or Monita Island, where it makes it more difficult for our agents to or our partners to go get them. Other islands that are uninhabited, it's a little bit far more difficult to get that over to us, right? So a lot of times it's dependent on our partners to who are patrolling through via air or through sea to report that there are people out there, right? So if no one goes out there, no one's ever going to see them. So the situation is comparable to what you're seeing along the southwest border with Mexico, right? So while it may not appear at the same number that you see on the southwest border, it's definitely higher than normal or what you normally see typically along in times prior to this, right? So the perception is that you may think that you can come over and come onto the island or Puerto Rico or any one of the territories where there's in the Keys or anything like that, and once you get there, you're going to be allowed to proceed along your path, right? So not necessarily correct, right? Because there are laws that we have to enforce, and you are either going to be administratively or criminally prosecuted for trying to enter the United States illegally in a point that's not designated as a port of entry. So that has always been the case. For us, the situation has not changed. So we enforce the Title VIII authorities, and that is what's applicable to anyone that's trying to attempt an illegal entry throughout the entire United States, right? So Title 42 is applicable, obviously, to what the southwest border and anyone arriving through that environment, right? So the migrants arriving through the maritime we still enforce our Title VIII authorities. So it does not have an impact on or does not change anything with regard to how we are processing and treating you as an illegal entrant, right? So it's either going to be prosecution administratively or criminally, right? So it just depends on what you have in your background. For anyone that comes into the Puerto Rico, it is the exact same process that you have to meet to get into the United States. So any kind of visa requirements or any kind of entry requirements that are expected that you are expected to see on the U.S. mainland is the exact same thing that you have to abide by here. So that is a challenge for them, and that is the false perception that once you get here, you're able to just get on a flight and go unimpeded, which is not indeed accurate. So.